So Connor.
Okay.
This is not a BYU sports podcast anymore. This is a podcast about Connor.
I don't know if I want to be a part of this podcast.
Hello and welcome back to Hike the Y, a BYU sports podcast.
Sick 'em.
For the first time, we are going to be talking about BYU basketball.
Let's go.
And I do say there's a lot to like going into this season.
Championship or bust, baby.
Heck yeah.
That's a quote.
Is it a championship or bust season
That's
for
what
BYU?
AJ DeBanza quotes, championship or bust.
Every top 25 team has someone who says that, though.
Yeah, but
Do you
But
actually
it's
believe
AJ
it?
DeBanza.
it's AJ DeBonza.
AJ DeBonza.
Like-
you gotta,
Is it DeBanza or DeBonza, bro?
it's DeBonza.
Everyone
It's
says it
DeBonza.
differently.
It's DeBonza. They have on the official
DeBonza?
BYU roster, they have all the pronunciation, which is really helpful for like those dudes from Europe that I don't know how to, I still don't know how to say their name. They have them like saying their own name, but they have AJ DeBonza.
DeBonza.
That's the annoying thing when you hear like a play-by-play announcer like pronouncing it completely wrong.
Yeah,
That's just
It throws me
I don't
for a
know why
loop.
I brought that.
it happens
up,
in football,
but
like
they say
especially
DeBanza.
when Kalani first got hired, nobody could say his name.
Kilani
Satake.
Kilani
Sitake.
Sitaki.
Siataki.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Let's talk
now.
basketball.
All right. Ty, do you want to kick us off today? What's
Sure.
one of your positives from the season so far?
I would say my positive is mainly going to come from this UConn game, and
Ooh.
it's going to be with AJ because we all saw that first half was a little rough, but I mean, when it mattered, he showed up.
He took over the game.
In the clutch, he was great. It was awesome. So I'd say that's my positive. Just AJ proved he's him.
In the
24
last
points.
10 minutes of the I don't have the stats on this. How many shots did he miss in the last 10 minutes of the game? I don't really remember him missing a shot.
Yeah, I'm not prepped with the stats, but I don't think it was maybe like one.
He was
If
on
that.
fire.
It was crazy.
One stat that I do have, right? He had 24 points, 7 rebounds. Of the 24 points, 20 of them were unassisted. He was just able to get to the get to the hoop on his own. 20 points by himself.
And the one that impressed me the most, he was doing everything in the lane, but then when it mattered most, we had like 2 minutes left, or even less maybe. He just pulled up from 3 and nailed it, and we needed it. And that, to me, that showed that he can be the guy and he can shoot from anywhere. So, yeah. AJ, he didn't impress me as much in the first 3 games of the season as I was hoping, but then the UConn game, I think he really showed his true colors.
I think one problem that they did have though with AJ DeBanza is I think players on the team are having a problem sharing the love. If I can explain that, we have so many great players, right? We have Richie, we have Wright, we have DeBonza, right? We have so many great players, and I think sometimes they kind of clash into each other. I think we saw that in the first half, and that's why BYU went down, because they weren't spreading the love a lot. And then DeBanza went out, and I'm not saying it's because of DeBanza, but DeBanza went out, and he came back in, and he started giving some love, and he started dishing the ball out, and I think he got a dish to Richie Sanders, and he was scoring. And I think DeBanza was able to get a quick prep talk on the sideline and be like, hey, maybe you should like pass the ball a little bit. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's an amazing player.
I completely
A
agree.
little bit of a lover of the ball.
Yeah.
He loves ball.
He does
And
love
honestly, I think that kind of slow start idea, I think it's going to get better as the season goes on. I feel like we saw that last year, maybe a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Like we did not look like a very good team mid-season, but then next thing you know, we're in the Sweet 16. So I'm not very worried about it. I think obviously UConn's a very good team, very well coached. Yeah, so I think we'll figure some of that stuff out as the season goes on.
Yeah, something to kind of go along with that. BYU is shooting 32% from 3 right now, and that's a little bit below average. But to be honest, it's probably worse than that because the 2 times where I feel like we've actually been hitting from 3 were the second half of the Delaware game, and the second half of the UConn game.
Yep.
Other than that, we've
agree.
been like ice cold.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's probably not going to stay the same.
No.
Like, shooters are going to shoot, and they're eventually going to start making shots. And if BYU shoots up to their potential, they would be 4-0 right now. They would have won that UConn game if they would have made 3 or 4 more threes, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the first half.
Yeah, I feel really optimistic for the next part of the season.
Oh, for sure. And especially because we lost Kada in the first half. That was huge. And then we lost, obviously, Kennard Davis Jr. because of the off-the-court stuff. But so if we can get those guys back, it's going to be
We
awesome.
played an incredible second half without 2 of our starters
Yeah.
against the
Against
third,
the third best
team
team.
in the nation.
Yes.
Who's proven they are, like, they've done it before,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
The 2 national titles, same coach.
Hats off Dan Hurley. What a team. I think I'm agreeing with Brendan here. BYU, traditionally, this goes back all the way to Dave Rose, Dave Rose
been a
and Mark
minute.
Pope. BYU lives and dies by the 3.
Yeah.
And BYU's best seasons in recent memory have come when BYU's 3-ball has been unstoppable. The shots have been going. They're not falling, but we are getting good looks. And I think it's what we've already said. It's a matter of time before they start falling. And when they start falling, there's no one that BYU can't compete with.
Yeah, I agree. And shout out Dawson Baker.
Dawson
Oh,
Baker.
yeah.
Dawson
I
Baker
could not
shot
believe
Yes, sir.
they
Major
gave
3.
that clutch shot to Dawson Baker. And maybe
Dawson
it was
Maker.
like, maybe that he was used as kind of like or they used the other players as decoys, but that was a huge shot. That was clutch.
One of my favorite things that Greg Wrubell says, Dawson Baker shot maker. And he
Yes,
will
It's
Ooh.
true.
make one.
It's true though. He makes shots when it counts.
Dude, he's always cooking in the second half. No, I'm
I
sorry.
think it's going to
He's
be
baking.
I got to retire.
I think it's going to be so important, though, for BYU to have guys on the court that can shoot the 3 to spread out the offense. Because if you look at it, let's be honest, AJ DeBonsta, he's a great player. He needs to work on his 3-point shot. Like,
And free throws.
he's not the best 3-point shooter. Rob Wright, also not the best 3-point shooter. That's just not his game. And then we're going to have a big on the floor if it's Kada. Besides that, we're probably going to have 2 very reliable 3-point shooters on the floor. We need
Richie.
Rob Wright or AJ or something like that. We need guys who can spread the floor. And so I think the 3 is just going to be so important going into the rest of the season.
Amen. I think another takeaway that we have from this UConn game was the defense. I love the defense shift going into the second half. UConn scored 43 points in the first half, and they were held at 27 in the second, right? BYU ramped up the defense like
No,
crazy.
they
in the
scored
second half.
43 in the second.
Oh, wait, did I get those backwards?
They scored 43 in the first and 43 in the second.
86,
BYU,
84.
Wait, am I tripping?
yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm tripping. Never mind then.
The defense is a great point, though.
But it
'cause
is a great point.
KY, he threw so many different things at UConn. I was like, every time we
Man
come
to
out of a
man.
media timeout, it's like, okay, now we're pressing. Now we're switching on literally
Yeah,
everything.
I was very impressed with our full court press.
Oh, yeah.
That looked great. I think that was
was
honestly the
awesome.
catalyst to get us back in this thing.
So I have complete trust.
We
in
were
Kevin
getting
Young.
double teams and traps at half court,
and it was
it
working.
was working.
They only broke the press like once.
I was like doing the trapping. I've only seen that in junior jazz. And then like I see that, like I was like, okay, we're doing a trap with AJ DeBanza. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's working. He just threw the ball away. I'm just gonna go. I know I got the stats wrong. I thought it was 43-27. But BYU had man-to-man. They were playing diamond zone, and they also had aggressive trapping. Just going back and forth. I
Beautiful.
think every single time you had no idea
Cinematic.
what was going up next to them. So
Yeah.
I thought they were better in the second half, but that's on me for having the wrong stat.
Nah, dude.
How did you get 27?
I have no idea.
I'm looking at the stats right now, and for the most part, if you go down like the team stats list, everything is pretty similar. The one thing that sticks out to me though is the 3-point shooting. We both made the same amount, but we took more. UConn shot 44% from 3, which is pretty good. So I wonder if this is a pretty evenly matched game. I think I don't know, maybe too little, too late. We had that crucial
Yeah.
turnover down the stretch. Maybe just a little too much for us to overcome.
Another thing that sticks out to me is the assists. 7 assists for BYU, 21 for UConn.
Ooh,
and UConn is great at moving the ball, but 7 assists. Usually you don't
Yikes.
see a team score 84 points and have 7 assists. And I guess I think it's just BYU figuring out who they are as a team.
Yeah.
Like, we're still figuring out, like, who's going to be open. Like, when are we going to kick out? When are we going to go for our own shot? Stuff like that. Their chemistry is still coming together. And I think over time, those numbers will turn up a little bit. BYU is one of the worst teams in the Big 12 so far in assists. But we'll see.
true.
We'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
We still played pretty good.
No,
even with
I'm not
those
mad
low
at this
numbers.
loss at all.
That was a great bounce back. Yeah, it was not looking good. I do think, it'll come with time. I really love, I trust KY to get this, get like the chemistry going and help people find out kind of just the court movement. Where is everybody generally on the court? Where are your teammates? Where are your options? To be able to get that ball moving and create those assist opportunities.
Yeah, and I think from this point on, we're only going to get better, which is great because if we're running with the number 3 team in the country, not at our best, missing players, I mean,
We can run with anybody.
The potential's crazy. I'm very excited.
I'd love to play this game again with Keba Keita in the second half. We
yeah.
had Xavier Staten, who had played like 5 minutes all year, with some second half like legit minutes, and we held in there. So I'd love to get Keba back. I haven't looked today. Has there been any news on his injury? I think it's a concussion.
Nothing
I
yet.
looked it up. We're still waiting.
BYU would love to get him back.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's a concussion. It probably is from just like the looks of it. He's probably going to be out for a couple of games, maybe two or 3 weeks. But we've got Wisconsin this Friday, and that's going to be kind of a home game. It's going to be in the Delta Center. So Wisconsin's a good team. They're 23, ranked number 23 in the nation. They're 4-0, but BYU's the favorite, 63.4%. I think Debansa and the rest, Debansa and Co. is just going to run all over them.
And that's a fun one. Rematch from March Madness last year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun one for BYU.
Especially if current Jazz man, John Tonje, if you guys remember him from the tournament game.
yeah.
He's on the Jazz now. I'm looking at the Jazz schedule right now, trying to see if they'll be home for that. And it looks like they have a game on Friday against the Thunder. And the BYU game is on Friday as well.
Friday as well.
Wait,
they're
that doesn't
playing
make
on
any
the
sense.
same
Hold up.
court, Same day.
BYU plays at 2:00.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
wow.
So,
BYU's at 2 p.m. on Friday.
Oh, I didn't realize you could play a game.
I was so confused for a second there. That's cool.
Wait, what time? The
Well, if
game's
you
at 7?
remember-
Is that right? Tom?
The Jazz play the Thunder at 8 o'clock.
What if the BYU game goes into like 20 overtimes? The Jazz game is gonna have to get pushed
they
back.
can delay an NBA game.
And they even probably in my opinion, I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. But like the painted courts or the special NBA Cup courts, I don't think they have time to replace that.
Oh, yeah, no.
So BYU is going to get to
will
play on a
play on
really
that.
cool court. That's going to be
I
awesome.
think that's a good
Could
point.
you buy tickets to the BYU game and then just hide in the restroom? For the Jazz game?
I think so. You just like, while you're in the restroom, you just change from your BYU jersey to your Jazz jersey.
I think the only problem is we've talked about it on a podcast now, so they're going to come get you.
They'd be like, oh no.
Because I know the feds be listening to the podcast
Is that where we get our listeners from? The
Yeah.
feds?
Go enjoy the BYU game before the Jazz get absolutely clapped.
by the Thunder.
Thunder are. I know this isn't an NBA podcast, but I'm
Only
pretty
one
sure
loss.
the Thunder are like insane.
You know, if the Jazz beat the Thunder, I don't know what I'd do.
The Thunder are 14-1 right now.
Oh my!
I thought Nate was gonna say like, I'm gonna do something crazy.
And
I'm
get
gonna do
this,
something. I'm gonna attempt to do a backflip on the podcast.
And
Let's
I don't,
go.
I don't even think J-Dub has played a game yet. That's just nutty. An all-NBA guy on your team hasn't played yet, and you're 14.
Let's just end the NBA season right now. Thunder win again.
Just give him the chip, low key.
All right. Are we done with the positives for this game, and for this
Yeah.
season? Should we jump into some of our concerns?
Yeah.
Sounds
Yes.
good. Sounds
Honestly,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start us off. One of my concerns: BYU's height. Keba Keita is 6'8". There's,
Ooh.
unless I'm getting this wrong, 4 guys on the BYU team: AJ, Bosky,
6'9".
Boop, and then Staten, who are all taller than our starting center. And Kaba is a great defensive player. He's a great rebounder. He can get it done on the offensive end when needed. But when you're playing against guys that are 7 foot and they've got 4 inches on you, there's just a certain certain things you can't do. You know, like it's going to be really hard to play defense against some of these big men. And I get that you can rotate guys down low, help on the ball, but I'm just worried about the height difference, especially when we get into March. I just think teams are going to be looking to exploit that.
One thing that is a positive for Keita is he is super physical. And I think that's a little dangerous because he's he's now had a concussion.
I mean, you
and
saw what
the
happened, yeah.
Rest of the season, he's going to potentially be battling with that. But I love Keita's willingness to get down and dirty in the paint and just absolutely physically abuse guys in the paint. And you can see him just like slapping those basketballs out. He's sending balls into like the 9th row.
That was crazy.
It's awesome. I love seeing Keita.
I feel like every couple of games he just has a complete highlight reel block or dunk.
SC top 10 block.
You guys were on your mission, but last year against Arizona, Ty, I don't know if you remember this. Maybe it was against Iowa State. He had a crazy chase down block.
I saw the chase down block.
And
I
think I remember that. Yeah.
He just brings a certain energy and element to the BYU team. I can't wait to get him back.
I just got to say, I typed in Keba Keita, and the first thing that came up was Keba Keita elevates for a massive block late. It's the first thing that showed up. So shout out to Keita, dude. Just sending those balls onto the 9th row. Absolute dog.
We were talking about the negatives, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I think one thing I was looking at, of course, you can't have the opponents opponents have played a factor in this, but where BYU's in every game this season, we've had more turnovers than the previous game. So we started playing clean against Villanova. That's probably one of the keys to us winning is we had the turnover margin we were doing really well.
We didn't even have
Against
5, did we?
Against Villanova, BYU had 4 turnovers, and they had 11. And then
great.
BYU went and had Holy Cross, at home, but they had 6. It still went up to 6. And then to Delaware, we had 7 to their, I think it was 7 to their 6, if I'm not wrong. They had 5. And then, well, we all know UConn, our first half especially, I think the turnovers were a big problem. We had 14 of them. Yeah. And so, in the whole game. And so
we still beat them out. UConn had 16.
Yes, we did. So I think our turnovers, mathematically, they won't keep going up, but we just have to make sure we can limit them, especially against Wisconsin. There's a great team coming into play in Salt Lake, and BYU needs to limit our turnovers and take better care of the basketball, especially early on.
For sure. Another negative point that I have, I guess we already talked about it a little bit. BYU just not moving the ball, the assists. I'd love to see that get up a little bit. We just need to make sure we're moving the ball, because when we do move the ball, then that opens up lanes for guys to drive in. Other guys will have to help on shooters, stuff like that. And then it opens up the three-point shot as well. So
that does worry me as well. It's like when BYU gets the ball down the court, it's Debanza, it's Wright, it's someone just taking the ball to the hoop by themselves. And I think we're not working as a team. And I think we're going to see the team chemistry get better as we go throughout the season. I think it is worrisome, but I don't think we're going to have to worry too much because everything's going to work itself out. I pray and hope. But I think Debanza and Saunders and Wright, everyone on the team, they're just going to learn how to pass the ball, get those assists, work as a team. When they work as a team, they're unbeatable. And we saw that in the UConn.
I don't know if they're unbeatable, but
I think they're unbeatable. I think this team could be a number 1 team. And I think they could win the national title.
Well,
time will tell. Time will tell.
These are my bold takes, guys. Bold takes.
College basketball is definitely the hardest sport to win a national title when you have the best team.
It's so hard to predict.
Anything can happen in March.
March Madness, bro.
I'm gonna
For a
get a
reason.
perfect bracket this year. While I'm on these bold claims.
They walk away with $1 million. Watch out.
Guys, wait till we get to March Madness. The podcast is gonna go crazy.
Because you're gonna have the perfect bracket.
I'm gonna
and
have
then
a
we're gonna
perfect
pop
bracket.
off.
Yep.
I hate to break it to you, Nate.
Ty's gonna mute my mic.
Anyone else have a negative?
Honestly, I
They-
think we're good.
All right.
I think I'm okay.
I just wanted to point out one player I think that could make or break this BYU season, and that's Kadeem Boop. Like I was saying before, our big men. If we don't have Kebakeda, it could potentially be a problem, and then the height's a problem as well. And so Boop, he's been playing something like 15 minutes a game. He's a great defensive player, can pretty much guard every position. But his offense is just, ugh. He scored 4 points all year, and he's played like 60 minutes of game time. So, I don't know. I think
He brings
he's
an
gonna be
energy to
X
the
factor.
floor, though, for sure, which is honestly really fun to watch.
I think if he can develop offensively, he's going to be a huge part of this BYU team.
Let's end it.
End it, or should we review this Wisconsin game real quick?
End it.
BYU will beat Wisconsin. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye. All right. Anyway, yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast. Hope you enjoyed it this week. And we also hope BYU basketball will be on fire for the rest of the season. Have a good rest of your week, guys, and go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs!
Cougs!
Sick 'em.
We can
Fetch, dude.
end every podcast that way.
That's a thing now.
Guys, I'm gonna be doing so much editing for this.
today.
This is a beast.
You gotta cut out the canard.
anyone
You gotta
else
cut out
wanna,
my shit. You gotta cut out my date. I don't want that in there.
No, that's the intro.
All right, fine. That can be the intro.
I'm gonna.
I don't care.
I'll find something.